All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay, and it's time to give a quick little follow-up on the Zenfone 9 here. So, contrary to what a lot of people keep saying, this phone's been out for 6 months. It was announced a long time ago in July of 2022, but it didn't actually hit the streets until September, and that wasn't even really officially globally yet. So, this device right here has officially hit basically towards the end of September, and we're only in January of 2023. So, how do you feel about this device so far? Well, one thing I'm extremely impressed with are the cameras. The cameras on here, with a little bit of tweaking, and not like what you think, I just pretty much turning off HDR and then switching video to 30 frames per second. To me, that's the most clearest, most crisp, clean. The front and the rear shoot at 4K 30, and these cameras are absolutely phenomenal, folks. You are going to get what you are asking for with this particular set of cameras. Now, I looked at the footage from the original video that I put up from the first impressions and detailed unboxing that I did, and the rear camera appeared to be a little bit more saturated, and it might be because it was at 60 frames per second. Now, HDR was already off, but it was at 60 frames per second, and switching to 60 frames per second, folks, does do something to your video. So, switching it to 30 frames per second, you can get a much more realistic, not so oversaturated look. This is a powerhouse device when it comes to the cameras, and I don't feel like people are going to appreciate them until they actually get their hands on them and start to use them. So I can give you every footage, every photo I can take, I can do every sample. I can do all these different things with this camera, but you need to use it yourself, and you're going to have to be the one to determine whether you think this is a camera for you. But I can tell you, a lot of people are talking about it, how it was ranking from other creators and things like that. Well, my perspective is, if you're looking for some of the best cameras on a smaller powerhouse device, you're looking at it. I really can't wait to see what the S23 Ultra does this year and the S23 model. So I'm going to grab the 23 more than likely because it's a small device like this, and we shall see how Samsung does their new camera layout. But the Asus Zenfone 9's cameras punch way above. I mean, this is I guess their flagship version at the moment, and it is punching very high for what it is. Low in price with cameras like this is impressive. Now, the hardware on this thing, wow. When it comes to picking a design, I don't know how OEMs, from start to finish do it, but I can tell you that the design of this device far exceeded my expectations. I didn't know what it was going to feel like on the back, and I can just tell you it kind of feels like a very good feeling or a good version of sandstone. Now, there's 4 different colors it comes in. It comes in like this white, red, blue, and a black or dark gray color, and I think you're going to probably be impressed with either one of them. I really like the hardware on here. I love the flat aluminum sides on here. You guys know how I feel about that. I don't like the stainless steel sides when they're all shiny. I just don't like that. And so for me, having an aluminum back like this, and then also having this textured back on the phone, or excuse me, aluminum sides, and then a texture back on the phone, this creates a great feel in hand to where I don't really want to wear a case. And it comes with a case in the box, but this case is really a soft touch, hard plastic, and it feels good. Obviously, it works well. It's not the first choice for a case that I would use, but I like an ultra thin case, and I would prefer to have all the sides covered and just have the cutouts for the buttons, but that's just me. This isn't my favorite for a case, but it does play well with this phone, obviously, because it was made for the device and it came in the box. But the hardware on here, you're going to be impressed. You're going to be extremely impressed. You're going to be wowed with this hardware because this combination is very rare. A sandstone back with some stainless steel sides. And then, I mean, it's just beautiful. One small little thing I like about this phone is the curve on here from the SIM tray. That might sound weird. It's uniformed, and they had to put it over. I guess they had to push it over a little bit in order to get it to work, but that's just a cool little touch I like. So, Hardware wise, fingerprint reader in the button, in the power button. Now this does have a multi-function thing with you can like swipe down, do all these different things. I don't want to turn any of that on because to me it's just all accidents waiting to happen. That's how I feel about it. I don't think I would ever want to have those things turned on. Now this device got Android 13 when I got it out of the box. So I was doing all of the um, first impressions for you, and in the meantime, on that, I was actually updating the device in between takes. Had to get a sip of coffee. I was updating the device in between takes because I got 4 updates, and one of them was Android 13. So it added on all the sweet spots for Android 13 being able to do everything you want. Now, if you're wondering how I got this wallpaper on here, obviously you know this is a Pixel wallpaper. I did a backup from my Pixel 7 Pro. And I like that because now I can have this theme on here. So I did a transfer and a backup from the Pixel 7 Pro, and that is how I got the wallpaper on it. That's how I get a lot of wallpapers on different phones where it's not offered. And you can see that this wallpaper right here, like if I go into change wallpaper, these are the wallpapers that are available. All these 9 stuff in there. That's what's available. So if you want something from a different device like a Google wallpaper or a Samsung wallpaper, you're going to have to do a backup and restore from that device. You can just transfer the stuff over, but it won't come across as a default and it won't show the same. So some people ask me those questions sometimes. That is how I do it. So Android 13 on here has just been great, man. The device was already fast. I guess if I want to say the device was already fast, but now it is blazing fast. It's really good. You can see the current build number right there. You can see it's on Android 13. You can see the 120 hertz AMOLED display is in full effect. Dual stereo speakers. We'll talk about battery in a little bit, but you can see this is where I'm at. Android 13. So I'm happy to have stellar software on here, along with, just phenomenal hardware. You just can't beat certain things. So already the cameras top notch, the hardware top notch, the software top notch, the battery. Well, you would think that since this is a 120 hertz display, that it probably wouldn't have the best battery, but I think you would probably be mistaken. This has a 4,300 milliamp hour battery inside, folks. So while it is pushing a 120 hertz display, it's an HDR10 display as well. It's 1080p. It's 1080p at 2400. So the aspect ratio on here with 445 pixels per inch, you do have enough battery to keep this thing all the way up. You have enough battery to keep this thing all the way up, keep the display pushing at the highest resolution you can push it at. And as you can see here, remember, I set it out of the box at 120 hertz, but you do have the option for 90 hertz for some people that, just want to get a little bit of smoothness. But only reason I turn the display all the way up is because I want to be able to reap the rewards of the device and all that it has to offer. And I think that's how you review a device. You push it all the way to its limits and you see how it does. And right now, the display on here is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a video here if I can. Really solid. All right, guys, as always, I apologize for the wind, but we're going to get this thing going. This is my new 23. Speakers bang on here. Like, I can't really tell you, I can't show it to you over video, but there's so much tones in the speaker system, like with the bass, highs, mids, and lows. Um, it really hits hard. And the phone almost vibrates. It's incredible. The screen on here, the speaker system on here, top notch for viewing content, folks. You cannot go wrong. Now, it's one thing I noticed about this display, if I can be if I can just nitpick a little bit. This is a 5.9-inch display, right? Do you see how the bottom down here is just a little bit not uniformed? It's got to be something with sensors, the way they built the display. That's why it's like that, because this is a flat display. But for some reason, the bottom has a little bit more bezel on it. Now, I personally would have taken that camera and pushed it up as far as it can go and then stretched the screen out as far as it can go, and then gave this a 6.1 inch display instead of a 5.9 in this same body, because it's totally possible. But I can tell you that you'd be more than happy with this display over anything, because if you look here, what I'm trying to get at is the let me see if I can show you. Well, I can't really show you. I'm telling you, the display can be pushed out more. It can be pushed out more. It can be pushed out more, and because the bezels are up there, because the cameras, now it's just a matter of internals to get it to do that. But I can guarantee you, there's more display that you can get. You can get at least 6 inches or 0.2 more, which is will be 6.1 out of this body right here. If you just can fix that bezel and the top bezel, you can make it happen because it's a flat display. So overall, folks, the performance on this phone so far has been great. The cameras are great. The battery has been just stellar. And I think this is going to be probably a win, man. If I would have gotten this phone in 2022, ooh, ouch, ouchies. Yeah, this probably would have been my phone of the year. If I would have got my hands on this phone in 2022, it could have pulled it off, because this is way more to my liking when it comes to something compared to like the Pixel 7 design and all that kind of stuff. Let me grab my Pixel 7. Where's it at? Right here. This doesn't even measure up, if I'm being honest. Like, I think this is a much better design than the Pixel 7. It's a smaller, compact style. And yeah, some people were wondering, should I compare? Are you going to compare those? Are you going to compare those? And I'm thinking I could compare them, but I think I definitely would like this better. Now, obviously, for me, the Pixel 6a was my phone of the year. If I didn't officially like put a video out, but this was my phone of the year, because I like smaller phones, man. Smaller devices is where it's at for me. These are really big screens. People keep saying that they're small displays, but these are big screens. This is a 6-inch display, folks. These are huge screens in your hand. It's just that the body of the devices are getting smaller, which is what we want. All screen, less body. And so if I would have had to choose between this phone and the Pixel 7 and the Pixel 6a, it would have been the Zenfone 9. This would have been my phone of the year. It really would have. No joke. This thing is nice, man. It's got a headphone jack. It's got premium, much better hardware than the Pixel 7 devices. And the speaker system is better. The cameras are obviously phenomenal. So, man, this would have been my phone of the year. It really would have. So, it's your man Jay. Wow, I'm only less than a week in, and I am really impressed with the Zenfone 9, man. I'll leave links down below. You grab yours, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned for more. I got an official camera review coming. Don't worry.